Good day, Lords and Ladies, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Sorry there was no video on Tuesday, but as you can see, I had a Cornish first look video to put up of a very interesting game that I suggest you go and have a look at. But let us focus on Citizen Sleeper. So in the last episode, a lot of things have gone relatively horrifically wrong in some regards. We tried to get rid of the overseeing antivirus program on the station called Killer, and it's gone horribly wrong, and we can't really fix it, unfortunately, because if we want to actually try and fix it, we have to unlock these keynodes. Alright, where were they? Or am I in the wrong layer? Here we go. Yeah, we basically have to go to the mainframe and deal with the mainframe and all the horrific things there that is ensuing, unfortunately. Along with a bunch of other things, which isn't great. We also have to try and help our friends get off the tower. We've got a couple of upgrade points. Trying to save them up to basically get some stuff here. We also managed to unlock the second ring as well. So this is becoming unlocked here. Self-containing community, work on the grow beds, work in the cantina, so we get some hyphen members. So basically it's a way of getting into there that would be interesting. Wild margins, some more stuff that's to do with tracking for the bounty hunter, wastes, escaped XPR ship. Welcome to episode Flux. The episode Flux is the first of 3 episodic updates in Citizen Sleeper, telling the story of the refugees flotilla which has arrived at the Eye. Completing the action above will begin the story, but be aware that it's intended for late game players. Okay. And then we have all the stuff there as well. So there isn't actually a lot we can do right now. We also had to try and get away helping our friends getting off the station alongside all our other developing issues, because we need to get onto this ship here, and we managed to mess it up the first time around, and we can't really afford for that to happen again. So we haven't got a ton of money. Let's go to sleep. Okay, we've got some dice that we can put straight into here. So that one, that one. There we go. Now we've extracted data which will require an interference check from us, but we can't do that yet because we haven't got enough things. We also need to try and get some money because otherwise our condition is going to crash. So that's not back yet. Yatagan agent. Yeah, let's do that. Got a bit of data, so we can take it up to here. 15 cryo is just enough for what we need. Our condition is not great, and we're going to start being affected by that soon. So let's end the cycle. That's not a great hand. Before we do anything else though, I am going to go to here. I am going to do the automatic success for this. Extract data. Okay. So we got the data to get everyone off the ship. Here we go. But the thing is that this is the trap. He's asking us to do this, knowing that if we do it, he's got an inside lead on the ship and our friends, which isn't great. I will re-roll our dice and hopefully get a slightly better situation we do there. So if we wanted to, we can go onto there and do some stuff, which is good. Man, I really need some money. My condition is dropping. Okay. When you arrive at Lem and Mini's unit, the caster is already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, sleeper, but Celius is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work, you say? Don't worry, the breach cannot be traced to the specific IDs I'm about to create. Caster reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. Hand it over. You hand over a drive with the data, and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal after some whirring. A set of 2 transparent films marked with numerical sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future, Caster smiles at himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first he holds a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help me make use of you. He passes you the square and you rest it in your palm. A small white perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Caster apologetically. Caster smiles. Do not worry, it's done its job. Now it's you to do you. Now it's for you to do yours. He looks down, sees a tiny ping prick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. Caster puts the terminal away. This way you will track. We can keep track of you and the sigil horizon. I didn't agree to this, you said. You did, sleep. Caster adjusts his glasses. You have to understand that I could have done this without you knowing. This way everything's on the table, so to speak. Caster hands you a transparent films, and you see simmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go. Give them the good news. He reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you up here? Come in. He beckons you inside. You look to the side, expecting to see Caster, but the wall is empty. The unit is clean, better organised than last time. Lem sits at a thin bar, gestures for you to sit. Mini's with some of the local kids. Someone has started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like it. You sit down. What's up, sleeper? He says. I have some news, you say. Out with it then, he laughs. I have Celius IDs for us. You have. Lem freezes. How? He blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean? Yep. Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you, smiling. How the hell did you swing this, sleeper? I made a deal, you say. What deal? What a deal, colourfully impressed. You show him the ID films and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina's home. We can tell her together. Well, this is the thing, which is that I really don't want to... the the thing is, like, we know we're now being tracked, so whatever happens to us will affect these guys, so it's one of those, But let's just play along for now, sure. Buzzer goes off, that'll be her. Lem goes up and opens the door, and Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot, she shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash heard the pass and she looks confused. We are going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above his head on that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down and she runs over to you and hugs your leg. I love you, Robot. She says quietly, so only you can hear. I love you too, you say. A little while later, you can, and when you leave, you don't even think to check the car store by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even the light, that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking back through the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared, all at once. Okay. The thing is, unfortunately for us, is that if we get on that ship, they'll follow us because we're being tracked. So whatever happens to our friends is on us, and it doesn't seem fair. So I think I know what this character would do. It's not the nicest thing to do, and it might get us into a lot of trouble. But it's the only chance we really have. We don't want to lose that. Let's go with energy, because we can replace energy. Not the greatest result, I'm not going to lie. Okay. A 2 isn't great. We can't hack anything here on the station. Yataghan. I don't need Yataghan, I need Havaria. I mean, I can... Need 2 for their agents. That's going to be problematic. Bit of extra money. Okay. How much money is he wanting? He wants 5 out of Yataghan. Okay, but we still have to save up money for our condition as well. I mean, I have sit mines. I'd rather not spend the sit mine. But we got no dice left either. So let's... spend a little bit of money to keep our energy up. Right, we need to find some way of making cash. Conditions going down pretty fast. That's a good roll. Okay. Let's cross the Greenway Gap. And he should have come online as well now. When you enter the service dock, Feng is set up. Crouched among the stacks of equipment, he is leaning over a terminal, bathed in the blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone in Havanage is set against me. A couple of my old system pals managed to sit me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware. The mess is here, you say. Feng laughs. Don't question the process, Sleeper. Any updates? Feng beckons you over. You have set up the scans of the waste on this terminal with the heat maps of active overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange markers. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has got a crew out there putting them together. We must have sit them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly. Machines? That's Conway's whole thing. Remote operated vehicles, drones, cutters, salvagers, haulers, the full set. Maybe Hayden masked this whole thing as an effect to clean up the wastes, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Feng looks worried, and the way Conway and why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havanage knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They ain't stupid either. These scans are best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud network, and the Greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. You can't hack them? Can't from here, he turns and winks, but that's why I'm going to pay them a visit. Too risky, you say. You forget Havanage came in and out of here all cycle. I should be able to get in, as long as no one sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but I can get inside. But if I can get inside, I can open up the nodes in their network and we can get to work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there, miles of corridors and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it will take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as I can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there. He pulls a handful of river worms from his pocket and hands you to them. These are the last metal helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they feed our data threads back into the system that they're tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes, I ping to locate the ports for the security system, then slot the worms into these systems and let them go to town. He points to the fuzzy silhouette of a buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entranceway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. They'll fry the perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank. You need to break it and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. If I can't, Ben gives you a hard look. You miss a system. You wait too long. They're going to find me. Simple as that. He clasps in the soda. I need you to focus on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starter gun. I won't go until you slot in the first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. If he affectionately pats you on the soda. This sounds risky, you say. Risky? This is audacious at least, he grins. Wonder if it would be wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't. Feng gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations, then slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long and getting bored or the sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this, remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught or you can't reach me or run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I have managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals hooked up into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam whatever you put in. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havanage, Yatagan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Hayden isn't sneaking away this time, he grins. I've got a little bit more to do, but a moment you slot that first worm in, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the server stock. Time to prepare yourself. So, yeah, so we can't get through there. And that's the Conway access. So as soon as we slot something into there, it's all go. Okay. The wastes. The wild margins. Yeah, let's get that going. Okay. looking for tracks. The trail ahead extends deep into the overgrown sections of the greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curves of the greenway become the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flowers of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen blackest tide. This is where Aston is hiding, you are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed substructure. You roll the comm headset Akita gave you in your palm. Call Akita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzles with static. After a few moments you hear Akita, sleeper. Have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he's here? Yes. Come now. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out. The channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead the stairs wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure ground, gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness. A strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile. Despite everything, it seems like an improvement. Sleeper, Akita hisses, brings you out of your reverie. He's in the collapsed stack. I think so, you say. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth, work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway with you follow close behind. It's slow going there where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Akita somehow seems to know where to go. Akita walks her way through the dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, you desperately want to rest, but your companion shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there's a faint glow from a collapsed stack. Akita leads you through the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits amongst the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Akita setting a deliberate pace. Somehow, water drips, and you swear you hear bird song. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in the pale and sickly green. Akita reaches the edge of the tank where it meets the central dome and holds up a hand to you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet moss islands at the base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but the tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object, a cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Akita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's shipmine, she says, and you suddenly recognize Cylinder. Who is... You turn to Akita to speak, but she's already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. A shot hits her shoulder piece. The ceramic armor cracked, but holding as she braces in the impact. She launches herself forward, and the now activated armor launching across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates behind the sleeper. Shit! You hear the shout from one of the tanks high up on the wall. Akita reaches over and wraps her hand around the thick connections between the shipmine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of your head. She screams as the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stay silent. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of water running down the walls of the drum. Then Aston calls out. I'm coming down, Akita. Don't do anything stupid for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Akita shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up here? What are you up to here, Aston, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my sit mine for what, some freakish experiment? Aston approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connection bundle of wires that Ankita still has a hold of. Steady, Akita. It isn't like that. I needed the sit mines. You have to understand, they would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit that you ripped my ship. I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mines and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity, Aston smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it, for your help. You only look after yourself, he nods at you. That sleeper up there, they are just bait, right, to draw me out? Akita sucks in her breath. Are you trying to give me a reason to shoot you? She snaps. I love them, Akita. Aston looks at the crumpled sleeper. I loved them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Akita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Aston. Ankita snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Akita. Let us go. If you don't, get out of my way. He inches closer. Please. I can't let you take it, Aston. Akita hardens her stares. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all of that? I need it, Akita. I need them to survive. Aston is in reach of the sleeper now of Akita. I'm going to take them now, Akita. He raises his hand. I'm going to take the ship mind and go. Aston loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hands are shaking now. Stop, Aston. She lowers her gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Aston is bleeding into the water, the red and green. Into the water, the red and the green. Akita is standing at the centre of the drum, the severed connection in her hand, the water dripping endlessly, dripping, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There's no sign of life, of humanity. There's just another broken object among another broken object, while all around living things grow and thrive. Akita finally looks back at you. Tears in her eyes. She begins to say something you might be sorry, but you are already gone. Okay, so that went badly wrong. Okay, so how do we get out of this situation, folks? Okay. We have a ship mind. Let's try for that. Yep. Okay, that's bad. Okay. I need cash. Pretty badly. Not going to lie. There's a Havana agent here. I could also gamble for just getting energy back. Okay. Got a little bit of money. I'm going to have to sell the ship mines. Unless we can get something going really well for us soon, I'm going to have to sell the ship mines just to keep my condition up. Okay. They're actually here. That's really good news for us because we can use them to repair our energy. I should have realised that they were there actually. That's my fault. Okay, let's sleep again. Okay. So we're not looking great. They're going to go. And I really need a crit. I really need to make some money on this. Okay. I'm also going to throw one of these in here as well. Okay. Good enough. We've got a bit of money. That's a tide us over. But our condition is going down. So... There we go. Couple of turns and sea comes online again. The wastes... Okay. My condition isn't great. And we got some scrap. It's the best. It's not the best use of our money that we have. Only one piece of scrap. Oh, we had another ship mine. That was why. Okay. That will keep us going for a little bit, but I really need to make some money, and I need to make some money hard. Pay off his debt, which won't get us any cash. Tea house will get us some money, but it's a waste of a natural 6. Scrap component and condition energy. Let's go with that. Okay, that will build up there, which we can then go back to our place and use to keep ourselves going, if nothing else. I know it's not a great use of our resources. But it's better than nothing. Another Havana agent. Let's get this done. Get another piece of code. Which we can use here to get a bit of money. Not a lot, but it is enough. But I need to get some help. I need something. I need to get something going on because we're not in a good state. That is a bad hand. Let's try for a reroll. It's not much better, to be honest. Okay. Couple more cycles before that comes online. Okay. Right, let's start off with the obvious thing. Let's grab some Yatakan data with these ones, which will give us a little bit of money. And what we have left... Throw it in here and hope for a good roll of the dice. It's not great. Okay. That's not really what I was hoping to happen. Spend a little bit of money at the bar. Don't really want to do that. Let's throw it in here. And get some money. Hold on 1 second, folks. Sorry. Thought I heard a bell. Okay, so that's going. Condition isn't great. Should have really spent it in there, but we have a little bit of cash. Okay. At best, we're at a holding action, which I'm not happy about. Yeah, re-roll that, please. Much better. Okay. First things first, let's go across here, because she should be coming online now with that, and hopefully we have some way of... Yeah, there we go. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as you approach. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale, her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to your armour. You both eye each other. Ankita. She holds up her hand, Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have sown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. It's okay, you say. She nods, then looks up at the stars. I've never. She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look, she sighs. Can you come with me? If it's easier if... If what? You'll see it. She finishes. Just down the way. Ankita leads you down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway. A quirk of air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complex. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realise Akita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the centre of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold she turns. What are you doing? You say. She looks at you with an empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet. Some glow with flickering, growing lamps. You look down Akita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. The smallest he has ever seen. She places the box down. You follow her in. You follow Akita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It's just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apparatus of the tank for the glint of a weapon or shadow amongst the moss. Akita stops and you look down. The moss island at the centre of the tank is clean now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Aston's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Akita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Aston, about the sleeper. Was the sleeper dead? You say. She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. Their body was long dead, that much was obvious. After you left I checked them, but there was nothing, no signal, no function. The ship mind was the same. Dead, she says. I don't know if Aston's plan would have worked. He seemed desperate, but that doesn't mean it wasn't. She pauses, unsure how to continue. I don't think he was lying, but you have to understand, I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's for business. He wasn't a good person, none of us in this job are, and this is how we die, alone. I'm sorry they had to die too. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she is searching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, as you do it widens, the water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand there in silence for a long while. You both feel it, the life creeping back in, the silence ending. Akita shifts her weight, then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the Greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves, the stars whirling above them. That's it, says Akita from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but you can't. Akita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars, ugly little things, you think. You take the chits. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and leaves your shoulder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pocket, and you hate them for reminding you of how little a life is worth. The bad end. We got the achievement for the bad end. That's probably for completing that storyline. I wondered if we could save them. I think it would have probably been quite hard. Agent nodes give double rewards. Actually, that would be pretty good to have, to be honest. Ooh. +2. I'm gonna go for the agent rewards, because then we can hopefully get some. You can at least earn a bit more money, to be honest. But we have enough money for everything we need now to get our condition back up, and to do a bunch of other things. But our timer is ticking down. How long do we have left? We've got, I think, a couple of cycles left until Lem and Mina basically leave. And we're about halfway on our clock, so we need to basically figure a way of getting ourselves either so they can't find us, we get bodyguards, we get something. Because we are in a real bad state if we don't. But that's for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-knight, this has been Intelligent Sleeper, and everything is really clicking up a notch. And I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye.